Thanks everyone for joining again. I'm James Bush, as you can see on the slide there. I'm the UK Sales Director for Activity Stream Group, and today, along with my colleague Martin, we're going to share a little more about how Activity Stream works. In brief, it is a marketing intelligence platform that connects to Spektrix to further enrich the data you already collect. But before we go into more detail on that, I'm just going to pass you over to Tom, Head of Ecosystem at Spektrix.
Thank you very much, James. So I'm Tom, my pronouns are he, him, and I'm Head of Ecosystem at Spektrix. And in my role as Head of Ecosystem, I work closely with our partners to provide further value to Spektrix users through integrated technology solutions that open up even more possibilities for the organizations that we work with. And it's a pleasure to be here on today's webinar with James and Martin, and hope that you leave today with a good understanding of the value you could derive from partnering with both Spektrix and Activity Stream. Just in case anyone's not familiar with Spektrix already, we're a team of almost 200 providing cloud-based technology for ticketing, marketing, and fundraising. We work with about 400 arts organisations in the UK. And we're constantly looking for opportunities to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our users. And one of the ways that we're doing that is by enabling valuable partner products like Activity Stream to integrate with us so that Spektrix users can do even more with the Spektrix system. And by opening up the number of potential integrations, Spektrix users can select the specific partner products that meet their specific needs and enable them to reach their goals. You can find out more about Activity Stream and the other range of partner products that are integrated with Spektrix at the Spektrix partner directory. And from here, you can search for specific partner products or specific services that you're looking for, or you can run a search based on the specific business goals that you are looking to achieve.
Thank you, Tom. So before we go into talking about Activity Stream, the software solution, I thought it would be useful just to talk about Activity Stream Group, first of all, just so you understand a little bit about who we are as an organization. So as you can see on the slide there, we provide three solutions specifically to the arts. We have expertise across the entire life cycle of the event, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So the key thing is that they all integrate with your core systems and increase the efficiency and effectiveness of those core systems, and of course the teams that then rely on those systems. So Activity Stream Group supports live events organizers from the initial conception of the event to the final settlement. So our solutions help you manage and plan your venue with YesPlan, build an audience with Activity Stream, which we're going to have a look at in a minute, and deliver an unforgettable visitor experience with Crowd Engage. And we're actually doing a Crowd Engage webinar on the 5th of July at 3 p.m. In conjunction with Spektrix again. So do look out for that and come back and learn more about how Crowd Engage works. Our vision is to be the one partner with complementary solutions that help make up your technology tool set. And you can see here, it does really encompass the full life cycle of the event. So, but today we're going to focus on Activity Stream. So let's go on and have a look at the marketing intelligence platform. And before I hand over to Martin to show us around the software, I just wanted to set the scene a little further. So data visualization is a key part of what we do. We know the value that your data represents to you, and how easily it can be that the volume of that data can potentially become overwhelming. So Activity Stream is designed to help easily make sense of how your audience are engaging with the range of your outputs. The interactive data visualizations displayed in Activity Stream are pulling directly from Spektrix and your other core systems in real time, as well as combining things, data streams like Google Analytics, Shopify, Facebook, and Google Ads. And they're all layered and presented in one unified view through Activity Stream, which is granting an at-a-glance maximized insight into helping things like easily track sales and your KPIs, identify meaningful customer behavior patterns to enhance more targeted, personalized interactions, which in turn should promote or does promote better conversions. You'll see in the demo that they are completely interactive and exportable right from the platform. So the only other thing to say is, should you wish to know more about how Activity Stream could work for your organization or any of the other solutions that I've touched on very briefly there, here is my contact details. We're also going to be at the Spektrix hubs. So my colleague Lucy will be at the Wednesday one tomorrow in London, and I will be there on Thursday. And then we'll also be in Manchester and Edinburgh. So if you'd rather come and have a chat in person, please do find us there. And we'll also be at the AMA conference in July. So it'd be lovely to see some of you around and about the place. Over to you, Martin.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Stop sharing my screen.
Jump to sharing mine. All right. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the intro there, James. So today I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tour of the platform and show you kind of how Activity Stream makes data exploration and insights super simple, and makes it I was gonna say approachable or yeah, convenient for everyone to use, because I think that's one of the core things when you compare it to all the reporting capabilities that you have out of Spektrix, is that by way of Activity Stream, you really democratize that kind of data, and you can enable much more people in the organization to explore data and pull data at will, and really see what's relevant for them. There's a very advanced user management behind it, so you can set up different users, different roles across the organization, and give them potentially right to just see the overall sales metrics, or for some it might be seeing campaign tracking and customer or audience demographics and engagement numbers and so on. So it's really easy, and it works across all formats. So you can be heading into that meeting and just pull up the sales figures for yeah, in real time. So being ready to answer those questions, or just pull it up on the screen as you're in a meeting, and really easily change the views of what you want to dive into. So in order to comply with GDPR and everything, this is showing you a kind of a demo data set based on another data set from a Danish venue that is just running in perpetuity. So there will be the odd Danish word here and there. I will do my best to explain. So first of all, as I log in, I'm seeing my default dashboard. So my default dashboard here is ticket sales overview. So generally, Activity Stream divides every transaction, if you will, into either a ticket sale, a donation, or a product sale. And product sale can be merchandise and so on, but it is generally kind of a placeholder for everything that is not a ticket sale or a donation. So you could find memberships, parking, wardrobe, you know, ticket insurance. All of that will be defined as products. So fairly typical structure. On the left-hand side, you have the menu of everything that you can look at, and up here you have the controls for whatever tool you're in. So if I want to see a different period of time, it could be one of the presets, or we can go back and say we want to see like these 2 weeks of May for some reason. then you can see that everything updates in a second. And now I'm looking at ticket sales over a period of time of 2 weeks. Top line here, I can see the overall metrics of the revenue generated, the number of tickets sold, and so on. But where it becomes really interesting is when I can see the breakdowns of how and where those sales are happening. So first of all, where are the tickets selling? Are they selling online? These are potentially like box office or back office employees or accounts. The different price categories, the different campaigns. And this is really one of the key elements of Activity Stream, is that we bring together the ticket sales data from Spektrix with the campaign information that comes out of Google Analytics. So every time a session is going through your website, going through the purchase flow in the Spektrix purchase flow, we will retain that digital tracking and that session information. So as soon as that turns, because that will by nature be anonymous, but as soon as it turns into a ticket purchase or a product purchase or a donation, we will marry it to the session information out of Google Analytics, which means that you will have an automated tracking where you can see here, for instance, like all ticket sales that are come in via a campaign. And a campaign can be as widely understood as possible. It could be an email campaign out of .digital. It could be a Google ad. It could be a Facebook ad. It could be a specific landing page on your website. It could be a banner ad on another website. It could be a post on a bus stop if you put a QR code in there with a UTM tag. So by way of convenience, it means that both sales and marketing have a really joint view of what is contributing to sales. Yeah, you can see the effect immediately from your mail outs or your paid media campaigns. At the bottom here, I have the sales broken down by price types. Yeah, standard tickets could also be students, subscribers, VIPs, pre-sales, kids, family, retirees, all those different ticket types. And on the right-hand side here, I have filters by like genre, performer, venue, if you're a multi-venue house. So all of these really easy to apply as filters, because that's really one of the big things with the UI across the solution, is that everything is connected. So if I'm only interested in seeing the rock and pop shows, I can just click here and you'll immediately see everything update. If it's, let's say I only want to see the standard ticket sales, I can click here and again, you'll see that everything updates. So up here, you can then see kind of the breadcrumbs of the filters that you have applied. You can remove them individually, or you can deselect all filters, which will kind of take you back home. I'll just do it here. So again, if you're trying to have a bigger part of your organization adopt a data first way of thinking, this is a really safe environment to do so. You can't break anything. You can't accidentally change a price on an event or something. And like anyone can quite intuitively click on something and apply a filter and dive into whatever they're interested in zooming in on. On the left-hand side here, I can see all the events that fall into the category that I've selected. So I can see that this concert is selling so and so much. I can see how it's performing across the different price categories. And this expanded tile, as we call it, was really built for just giving you that snapshot on, if you're on a mobile phone, you can just expand it. You can see kind of the details. Is this event selling evenly, or in this case, unevenly, where you're seeing that price category A is selling much faster than the others. If you then want all the information that relates to a specific event instance, terminology, I know, then I can click into the the level 42 instance and see all the the revenue numbers and number of tickets sold, but now also getting additional metrics as average ticket price, how many registered ticket buyers do we have, how many of them are first-time bookers, and how far in advance are they generally booking. And then follows a range of different breakdowns. So here again, I have the inventory snapshot and how that's been moving over time. Here I can see the sales patterns of what is generally selling. As we saw before, price category A is selling much faster than the others. And I can see what sections are people sitting in and the different price types. So I can easily see that 65 tickets were sold off the pre-sale, some are sold to sponsors, etc., etc. So I have all of this really easily digestible. And right next to it, I can see where the tickets are being sold, what campaigns are attributing. So again, here I can see all the campaigns that we've run that have attributed with sales for this event. Some demographical breakdowns of postcode and city, and overlaid on a map, and even to the level of seeing, do we have any specific or any notable people in the coming for this event. I can see that we have a group of 23 people, pretty high lifetime value, and it even goes to the detail level of what seat these people will be in. On the left-hand side here, I can see that, we have a predominantly male buying audience. Obviously, this is an indication. So even if you don't have gender in the underlying data, we will, let's say, have a qualified guess that if your name is Martin and you're from Denmark, you are likely to identify as male. And we also do address verification, and we map that against the venue, so, or the instance, if you will. So here we can see that we have a fairly evenly distributed, aside from obviously seeing a lot of locals, we have people coming from quite far away as well. And then finally, for every customer that you have on record, every patron that you have in your audience, we will extend and enrich the customer profile that comes out of your Spektrix platform. So if you're on Spektrix and you do customer attributes, they will be placed here, so you can see that breakdown of all the attributes of how you've tagged people in Spektrix. And besides that, we will do customer tagging. So we apply also some tags, some dynamic tags that are based on the engagement and the purchase patterns that we've seen, or the behavioral patterns. So you can see here we have some first-time buyers, we have people that have been loyal for a number of years, we have some high-value customers, and it goes on and on. We have like some impulse buyers, but people that typically buy close to the time of the event. Some people that prefer to go on weekends. We have some volume buyers, so these are people that have repeatedly made group bookings, et cetera, et cetera. So you have all of these different tags that you can then use for segmentation. And as James indicated, it is kind of because you have the filtering capabilities, there is kind of a built-in segmentation capability to Activity Stream. So everyone would say that this is a report or a dashboard showing all the details for this particular instance, but in contextually, it's also showing you a group of 214 ticket buyers. So if you want to use that as a custom audience for a Facebook campaign, or a custom audience for a Google ad campaign, or what do I know, you want to send them a brochure, you can just create a custom export and move that straight into Facebook or Google Ads, for instance. So the Facebook CSV will take out this group of this audience in using the hashed Facebook format. So it's GDPR compliant. You're not exporting anything identifiable. And this can be done from a context of an event, but it can also, and this is one of the key things, again, is what we call the customer overview. So this is great for kind of exploring what are the patterns in our audiences, what are the purchase patterns, what are the demographical aspects of our audiences. So I just picked up like every ticket buyer over the last 2 years. So that gives me about 40,000 people. I can see how far they travel on average, how many of them are first-time bookers, how much are they spending, and then again different breakdowns of spend by different buckets. I can see the general gender distribution of my audience. I can see how far they travel on average, how many of them have been here once, twice, etc. Again, the customer tags. This would also hold the customer attributes in a graph next to it. Things like price category, price type, the lead time graph. So you can see when are people on average buying their tickets. And again, as James said, this is all about exploring data that will make you better at communicating, or better at setting up your campaign so they convert as well as possible. So this would give an indication that it seems like sales would generally be picking up about 10 to 12 weeks out. So this might generally be a good timing of campaigns. Similarly, we have breakdowns of the genre, so you can easily see, let's say that we have the family events. We want to see, is the lead time differently, if different for our family events? And yes, it is. They buy much closer to the day of. So again, really easy to explore these patterns and make relevant decisions based on what the data is saying. In here, you can also create, like, let's say you had every customer who's bought a ticket for a family performance, a family style performance. So just one click, that gives me 1,359 people. And again, I can export them, but I can also save it as a dynamic segment. So if I want to have like a regular campaign that targets my family audience, could be my comedy audience, any subgroup of ticket buyers, then I can just save it and it will dynamically update when people fit that criteria. There's even a third way of building segments. We call that the segment templates. So these are, you can say, templates of segment types or segment criteria that we see people using all the time. So let's say that you have a New Year's concert, or you have like an annual opening event or something, or you have, classic would also be an artist that has played the venue before and is coming back. Then this template that just gets you those that bought tickets for that event but haven't bought for the upcoming one. You can just go through a quick little template here and say, okay, I want to have everyone that bought in 2017, but I want to exclude the ones that I've bought for the new one. That would give me a little preview of the segment, and I can just go next and move them into as a custom audience on Facebook or Google, or build a custom CSV, save it as a dynamic segment, or I can even copy the segment URL and send it over. Let's say you're using a digital agency, you can even send that segment URL to your digital agency and say, hey, can you set up a targeted campaign aimed at this segment? So again, as I said, with the user management and the ability to to share access to data outside of your organization, that is really powerful. And we have a lot of venues and producers that maybe do email marketing in-house, but use an external agency for digital campaigns, which often limits them in data access, since they're outside the company. But here you can actually give them access to either your whole data set or a part of it. Going through the additional dashboards. So some of the things, as we talked about, some of the things that can be related to audience demographics or sales for individual instances or individual events. But we can also have things like the event status overview here. Let's go a little bit back in time. So this can give you an overview of sales performance of either upcoming or past events. So here we have like various breakdowns of sales. Using this one, I can easily spot if we have specific types of specific ticket types attending specific events. And this one is showing me what's the inventory status week for week. And here I have the breakdown of all the events, all the individual events. I can see the sales pace, the total sales, the sellable cap, sales in terms of percentage, the revenue made, breakdown of like holds and comps, reserve tickets, and how many are open. The price categories here show a little price indicator, like a little color indicator of, okay, you see the price category A is selling much faster than price category B and C. We have the average price, we have value occupancy, which compares to the percentage of tickets sold. You can see here it's much lower, which means that we've either, well, yeah, here we have the answer. We've given a lot of free tickets away, which means that we have actually booked quite a few seats, but we've only attained or obtained 33% of the potential revenue. Conversely, you might have been able to sell the highest priced tickets much faster than the lower priced ones. So that would see your value occupancy increase quite rapidly. And the final metric we have out here on the right is your first time booker percentage. So that is really useful information for programming to go back in time, see what types of performances, what types of instances attract new audiences, conversely, which ones attract your loyals. But it can also be useful for the front of house staff to learn that on Saturday you have a performance that has, 60% first-time visitors, which means that you might want to have more people working that night, or it might just be that they should all be prepared that there will be maybe more questions than normally. We have things like year-on-year performance. So let's switch it to cumulative. So I can easily see how 2023 is performing compared to previous years. And all of this still filterable. So if I want to see just the subscribers, that's what this one means, then I can see how the subscriber ticket sales are going. So they're a little bit lower than normally, but the standard ticket sales make up for it generously. So really, again, really easy to, by applying these filters, go deep into what is what's the performance of individual, like on aggregate. Also things like campaign overview, that just pulls in, get a little bit more time here. So over a period of time, looking at your paid media campaigns, how are you assigning your budget? So you can see the cost of each campaign, you can see the return on ad spend of each of one. You can zoom in on just one and even see things like, is this campaign attracting a lot of first timers, or are we just paying to convert our loyal audiences? And with this, you can even, if you want to go full detail on where and how tickets are selling, there's a further breakdown by retailer, by referrer, like what are the websites that are driving traffic to you, and what are the websites that are kind of sending you people that transact. And for every referrer, you can see things like how many tickets were sold off this particular referrer, the revenue generated, how many of them are first-time bookers, what's the average ticket price, etc. And the same thing can be done for each campaign that you're doing. How many tickets were sold off a particular email campaign, even down to potentially individual link level. And everything here is still linked. So let's say that I want to learn, go down here to the customer tags and say, I want to learn specifically like where my premium buyers are, how they are. Right, there you go, did I? All right, there we go. So if I want to see specifically how premium buyers are interacting with what channels are they buying through, then it's just one click away, and then I can explore that further. And there are some neat tools for the marketing team to go into. Let's say you want to create your campaigns and just easily go in and say, like, I want to send people to activitystream.com. I will name my campaign Spektrix demo, and then as I'm using, maybe I'm setting up a campaign across multiple touch points. So let's say I want to create a Facebook ad. So I click the FB ad and say this is social media, and as you can see, it builds out the UTM URL there. And if I'm posting it organically, I might prefer to get a neat short one there. If I then go on to say, okay, I'm also going to track this on a Facebook event page, I just click here and then it updates and I have a new link. So it's really easy and convenient when you're building your campaigns. So all of this ties into a full kind of patron view. So yeah, this is a mock-up, so no personal identifiable information shared. But let's say we have Kath Smith here, and we can see all the information we have on Kath. We can see all the instances that she attended, and we can see all the interactions that we've had with her in terms of email interactions, ticket purchases. Here we can see that she bought the white wine, might be through CrowdEngage, and we can even potentially see that she scanned her tickets if you're ingesting that type of data as well. And as I said, that goes across ticket sales, product sales, and donations. The donation overview, and again, this is a mock-up, so you're not seeing any real information. So this will show you kind of just like you saw the ticket sales overview, here you are looking at what donations are coming in, broken down by amounts, broken down by whether it's first time or repeat donors. And I can see breakdown of by campaign, by fund, by postcode, and again, by the customer tags that we apply, or the customer classifications out of Spektrix. And then really nice is the fact that here on the left-hand side, I can see for the period I selected who are the major donors. So I can see that Ralphie here has made a significant donation, a significant lifetime donation amount. And I can easily spot here that we have a visit with Ralphie's planning a visit on the 30th of August. So now I can easily kind of go to the team and make sure that they make that visit special. And similarly, I can see that for Dennis here, who's made like very high lifetime donation, he does not have an upcoming visit. So maybe we would want to reach out and make sure that we can bring Dennis in for great experience. This also goes for product sales. If you have product sales happening in a different platform, we have integrations to things like WooCommerce and Shopify. So from there, I understand that that's typically mostly like sports organization, but just to show you that completely similar to what you've seen on tickets and donations, we have the same thing for product sales. And as we head back here, I will end the little tour on what we call observations and channels. So this is something that came from us asking ourselves the question of what if the platform could tell you what's interesting instead of you kind of having to spot it in a dashboard or a report. So from that came what we call observations, which can be things like, let's say that you are working in, come on, oh, there you go. So let's say you're working in group sales. So you want to be notified of every large order. So this is your view. And what it could be that you want to have price zone sellouts, or let's say price zones almost sold out. If you're working in inventory management or pricing, this will tell you across all your instances if a price zone is close to selling out. It could also be that you're in audience, like visitor experience or customer experience, then things like notifications that you have a large group of people coming from far away, or it could be that you have someone who's repeatedly traveling far to come to the venue. So this will highlight these opportunities, if you will. And one of the plans for later this year is to integrate all of this, so you can set your own filter and you can have it connect to something like Teams or Slack, so you don't even have to be in the activity stream. It will push it to you. Yeah, other things we're working on would be things like event comparison tools, where you can easily compare kind of sales graphs and so on for multiple instances. All right. Yeah, knowing that this can be quite extensive and a lot to take in, I think I will let this be what we're showing in this little tour.
Thorough, but still a taster session. So thank you, Martin, for that. I shared my details before, but as I said, me and the team are going to be around at various Spektrix events, and we're also doing the Crowd Engage webinar on the 5th of July at 3 p.m. So you can head over to the Activity Stream website if you wish, and you can find more details about registering for that there. And that's it for us for today. Thanks very much for coming along, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.